got a 4-string that belongs to the dude that had the Carvin earlier and the Ibanez guitars that were tuned down to A. This particular bass has a set of standard light 45 to 105 or maybe 100 strings on it. He wants to put, because he tunes down to A, he wants to go with 130, 180, and 65. Okay, we got a 5 in there and it feels loose. So, like, tighten or loosen everything off. And let's see if it works. Tight that way. This might be a Gooch truss rod. There's a 5. It just feels really gooched. That is a ratted out truss rod. We can't do anything with this guitar. Call Buddy and tell him that we can't go any further. Okay, boys and girls, we're back with the Ibanez bass, and when we took and changed the tuning, to D, G, C, and F, the relief on the neck seems to have settled down a bit. So if we take our 12th thou, holding at the 17th, we can get ourselves, it's right where it should be, 12th thou. So I called Buddy up and I told him that his truss rod is all tuned out. Somebody put the wrong kind of wrench in there, and it's supposed to be a 5. Supposed to be a 5, and they must have grabbed an Imperial wrench and tried to go at it with that, and it didn't work. So it's supposed to be a 5mm. The neck is not going to, the truss rod's not going to do anything. Okay, so it looks like somebody already adjusted the nut to accept a larger string, and the way we do this is, if it wants to live here, by the way, I tightened the bushings on all these, they're all loose. So on these skinny posts, you want to go, it wants to live here, you want to go 1, 2 past and cut it there. You simply won't get any more winds on that sort of post. It barely goes in the hole. Alright, so you bend it over and you wrap it and you crank it. You want to crank towards the bottom of the post. sheet number 2. If I can get this thing to stay where I want it. One turn. This works. Now on these big fat strings, I tend to pull it past the post just to get that bend in there, so it's going to sit. Got 3 good wraps. Okay, we're strung up. Man, didn't that make a big change? Polishing those frets and getting the moisturizer, some F1 on that fingerboard? I'd say so. Now let's see here. We're going to tune this up to first stretching the strings. And I'll let them sit overnight. The truss rod cover went back on, and 2 of the holes were stripped there from whenever you take a screw out of a metal screw out of a wood hole and you put it back in, you don't just crank it back down. You put it in backwards and let it find its thread. That way you don't go stripping out your threads. Okay, so let's bring this up a pitch. That's good. We'll just keep that there. Let's see what our relief looks like. It really doesn't matter what our relief looks like because it's going to be what it is. You know what I mean? I'll let you see what it is. That's 12 thou. Okay, so there it is. We're going to let it sit overnight. It looks like we may have success doing it this way. We'll see what the string tension does to it over time. Hey, look. You play kind of heavy and it doesn't flop out on you. That's right. On these big floppy ones, you got to bend the strings at the saddle too. Oh, we used the plug cleaner. They're called Crackle Killers. This is a fresh one. See how green that is? That was all the corrosion inside that jack. So in the summer, being everything is dry right now, my guess is that relief that we're seeing right now that is about 10/64ths, I think that will change for the better without doing anything to the truss rod that can't be adjusted anyhow. Alright, I'm going to let this sit overnight, come back in the morning, check it. Hey boys and girls, it's been overnight and then all day, done with work, and let's take a look at this Ibanez and find out if we've been Ibanezed or not. So what we're doing, to recap, is we're using a 4-string bass and we're putting on a set of these. We're using the 130 tuned to A, the 100 tuned to D, the 80 tuned to G, the 65 tuned to C. Not using the high string on the 5-string set. So let's see, I brought it up to tune. Let's see where our neck settled and where our string height and all that is, because it looks like it's going to be okay as far as string buzz. I put some guitar grease in the nut slots. Let's bring you down here. Doesn't that look good with them frets all shined up? Well, it doesn't matter if it looks good, it matters if it plays well. So let's check our relief. And drop the capo way over there. Okay. Like I said, let's check the relief. Now last we checked, we had about 8 thousandths of relief. We're looking for 12. And I think we might have 10. But it doesn't buzz. Let's see where our string height is. Here we go. Checking it to 17th. I've got 6 thousandths, maybe 7. We got 6. We got 6. And we got 6. So we could drop that side down just a little bit. Remember how we did that up here with there's the 2 set screws? Drop that down. Check that string height. That's closer to 5. Let's check for string buzz. Yeah, I think we're going to roll with this. There's no string buzz. Let's check our instonation. little flat. That means saddle's going to go that way. What size is that screw? It's a small. Let's see, will that work? Yes, it will. There we go. I went too far. Sharp now. Okay, we're there. D is there. G is there. C is there. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Make sure all the noises, make sure the noisemakers make noise. There's a little bit of noise, but it's from non-use. Same way there, just turn it around a little bit, it disappears. I think Buddy's going to be happy with this. What do you think? Big floppy strings bit, man. Through a real bass amp, and this will sound awesome. Okay, so what did we do here? We got ourselves this Ibanez, and we didn't let it Ibanez us. We put a set of fives on there, the heavy end of the fives set, a 5-string set on a 4-string bass. We have a busted, not busted, but a gooned out truss rod. Somebody used the wrong hex key in there, and just it's stripped. So we just took a shot at putting the lighter, the heavier strings, but tuned down a whole step, and it worked. So okay, we got good string height here. We have we cleaned the fretboard, we polished the frets, as you can see they're so pretty. We only have 10 thousandths of relief, but it works. We have string height, which could be a little bit lower, but if it is, and we're only at 6/64ths, a little less, and 5/64ths, and 6/64ths. As I was saying earlier in the video, that these two saddles don't have adjustment. It's either the treble side or the bass side you can adjust, but you cannot adjust the individual saddles, which is stupid. If you have a radius for this, you stick a radius. If it's going to be fixed, like say a Gibson Les Paul or a Gibson bass, you're going to put a set of saddles on here that are going to be set up for the same radius as your fingerboard. This is not, and there's no way to fix it. It's just a bad design. I want to thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Stringman Guitars. We are, like I said earlier, just a hair over 700 subscriptions. If you can hit the like, the subscribe, the bell for notifications, I would love you for a long time. It's important because I've been doing this for, well, 170 videos, and it'd be nice to get some ching back from Google. Used to not have to have 1,000 subscribers. Anyhow, love you guys and girls. I mean guys, I mean everybody. I love everybody. Take care of yourselves, don't get sick, love your neighbor like yourself, and take care of the old folks. Peace. Have a great week.